on the night of October 6, 1998. 21-year-old Matthew Shepard left the Fireside Lounge in Laramie, Wyoming, with two alleged strangers, Aaron McKinney and Russell Henderson. 18 hours later, Matthew was found tied to a log fence on the outskirts of Laramie, savagely brutalized, unconscious, and barely alive. Even before the police authorities had investigated, major news organizations provided a generally uniform account of the crime and the motives behind it. Shepard, a first-year student at the University of Wyoming, paid dearly, allegedly for trusting two strangers enough at the Fireside Lounge to tell them he was gay. According to gay journalist Jimenez, the real Matthew Shepard and the real Aaron McKinney and Russell Henderson have been conveniently remolded by a movement in desperate need for a symbol. The story of gay panic, the version that the country came to embrace, was suggested by Shepard's two close friends, Alex Trout and Walt Bolden. Stephen Jimenez also believed it and went to Laramie to write a screenplay about the Shepard murder. A gay man out since the 1970s and well-respected in journalism and media production, he eventually discovered that the canonical version of the story differed widely from the truth. Did Matthew Shepard's murder have anything to do with his sexual preferences?
I would have to say no. Aaron McKinney was a closeted bisexual. He's the man that struck Matthew repeatedly with the barrel of a .357 Magnum. But in the course of my investigation, I discovered that he had a history of being sexually active with other males, had been involved in some male prostitution, and indeed he had been involved with Matthew Shepard as well. I was looking at some of the sexual allegations, and eventually where that took me was into the drug world surrounding crystal meth. It was a very popular drug in Laramie at the time, but he had been involved with methamphetamine for 3 years prior to this crime. But Russell Henderson had not been involved in dealing. There is no evidence that Russell Henderson ever struck Matthew Shepard. He went along believing that Aaron McKinney was going to commit a robbery, but he had no idea that there was a history between Aaron McKinney and Matthew Shepard. 8 months into my work in Laramie, I discovered a letter, a handwritten letter in the courthouse that had been written to the prosecutor. It was an anonymous letter, but it said, the whole story around Aaron McKinney having gay panic, it can't be true. During the 24-hour period that included the attack on Matthew, Aaron McKinney assaulted 4 different males. 4 assaults in a 24-hour period. 3 of them are straight males. Okay, wow. How do you isolate the attack on Matthew Shepard and say that was driven by anti-gay hate, but the other 3, what was driving him when he struck the 3 other males?
Right.
He was out of his mind.
As you can imagine, there's much more to this twisted tale. If you'd like to listen to the full interview with Stephen Jimenez, click the link below. I'm Kresta, and thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you soon.